Hello and welcome to another free Secrets of OnPage course by me, Josh Paszynski. As I was mentioning to these folks, today we're going to do an OnPage course. It's going to have tons of secrets in it, tons of goodies. The question you need to ask yourself is, are you ready to improve your rankings? If so, you're in the right place. If you want to join the Zoom live, I have a bunch of people here on Zoom who are going to ask me questions as well. Also, you're welcome to ask questions here on the YouTube. Uh, and uh, uh, and then if you want to, and then when after you guys have asked your questions on YouTube, I'll turn off the cameras and I'll do a super secret session with these guys who are in the call. So if you want to join the call, you can still join. Go to SEO Copilot. I think you can still join. You'll have to wait for next time because I won't see it because I'll be teaching. So sorry about that. You can't join now. Haha, such a tease. But if you want to join these things, go to SEOcopilotai.com and sign up for the free training, and you can get on the Zoom in a future session. And you can also ask me anything and get a benefit from see the gray in my beard, from the 30 years experience I've been doing SEO. I can rank anything I can rank anything anywhere. I can answer any SEO question. I can guarantee I can help you improve your rankings. So today we're going to be going through the secrets of OnPage. Again, if you have any questions on the YouTube, please ask them on the right-hand side. And just let me quickly check to make sure I'm broadcasting to YouTube. Yes, I appear to be broadcasting to YouTube. Yay. So also make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and get your friends in here. If they're trying to learn SEO, get your friends in here, because today we're going to go through the full on-page process. Okay, so let me show you. So the year is 2025, and it's a great time to be doing SEO. Interest in SEO is actually up, believe it or not. Despite the protestations to the latter, SEO is never been stronger. In terms of, there's over $1 billion out there for you to get in terms of SEO money. That's the rough figure that people toss around. So it's a very lucrative niche. It's a very lucrative job. There's lots of ways to make money in it. And the nice thing about it is that the kind of years in which it was kind of easy to rank in many niches and people were just doing spammy crap and outranking you, and you're like, how does that happen? That doesn't really happen anymore. Google's really good at finding the spam, finding the black hat tactics, and shutting them down. So everything I'm going to be showing you today is perfectly white hat. But also, everything I'm showing you today is extremely powerful, because also another huge, awesome advancement, the same AIs that Google is using to catch people and shut them down, opening up huge opportunities for us to fill the vacuum where they used to be and make all that money that they were making. We can also use artificial intelligence to build our pages, and we can do it faster, way faster, and we can do it way cheaper than we used to be able to do it. To do white hat SEO of high quality, in my 30 years experience, used to take around 20 hours a page, quite frankly. I can break it down to 20 minutes in some cases. So that is a huge reduction in time, a huge reduction in cost if you're paying someone to do it, and a huge increase in revenue because you can do that many pages faster. And one of the first secrets I'm going to leak today, I'm going to confirm, is that those people in the industry who think that content marketing is the way to go, and those people in the industry who have sworn by bigger sites ranking better, they were right. They're completely right. The think tank, so the tool I'll be using today to show you how to do the full on-page process and save all this time and money is called SEO Copilot. I'll get there in a second. You can get a free account for 2 weeks and try the whole system out. It's very powerful. I'm going to show you how it could completely. It's a breath of fresh air, quite frankly. Doing on-page without AI has been hell for the last 20 years, and it's such an amazing thing now that we have AI that works, that's reliable, that has the smarts of 30 years of SEO experience built into it. But not only does it have my 30 years experience built into it, it also has the proven scientific tests that we've done to isolate ranking factors and cut out all the noise so that we know for a fact what are the on-page ranking factors. From my think tank called SEO University, or Underground SEO University. So I also run Underground SEO University. I've been running this for the last 10 years. And this is where we do, I did a master's degree and I was doing a PhD in science-related fields. This is where we use my experience as a professional scientist to isolate and do statistical data correlative analyses that are mathematically valid because of the number of samples in the spread, and also single variable testing to show like, okay, we have one change, there's 5 pages and only one of them has a little change and nothing else has changed. And we see, does that go up? Does that go down? We do this single variable testing so we can isolate, and we know with a capital K what the ranking factors are. This is how I can say such bold things like I could rank you anywhere, because we're not really guessing, or to be honest, we've reduced the guessing down to the absolute bare minimum. So this is fantastic. So I also have a bunch of huge gifts for you regarding Underground SEO University. I guarantee you will improve your SEO project. You will get better rankings by using SEO Copilot correctly, which I'll show you today, and doing the full on-page process. But also you will get better rankings when you join SEO University. And you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, if not a month in some niches. And that money is there for you, and it's completely realistic. And I can tell you this with a completely straight face, completely honestly, because that's the level of success that we've had. It's called Underground SEO University for a reason, because we don't want to get on Google's radar. So we don't brag a lot about what we know. I don't ever put out a blog post saying this is a ranking factor. If anyone is telling you publicly what is a ranking factor, other than in a video like this, which Google's never going to watch, like putting out like a blog post or something like that, you can't trust it, because Google's going to see it and then they're going to redact. They're going to create an AI to foil that kind of tactic, right? So you're in the right place. You've got the right guy, me. You have to put up with my personality, but you've got the right guy, me. And you've got the right knowledge. You've got the right backing from the think tank from Underground SEO University that does all the scientific testing. All right, so without further ado, let's get to it, because I've got some people here on the call today who are very excited to learn how to use SEO Copilot. So I'm going to try and do this as expediently as possible. Yeah, fine. Oh no, what is this? This is something, okay, great. Okay, so this is SEO Copilot. We're at SEOCopilotAI.com. We have very, very reasonable pricing. And again, you could try it for free for 2 weeks. And right now, we still have our free credit, our credit bonus on right now, where people get extra credits just for signing up for the system. So you can use the entire system. So so this is the tool. This is an AI that has taken, again, 30 years experience and will save you so much time and money. And it will also produce higher quality articles at a higher rate that are much less risky than doing it by hand. So this is just amazing. Anyone who's been doing SEO for a long time will realize how amazing this is. All of you new folks to SEO, you're going to kind of be like, yeah, so what? It's an AI tool. There's a million AI tools. What? That makes me want to scream. The difference in quality and the difference in research and the difference in SEO knowledge behind like a free chat GPT thing, which the answer to that question of time and knowledge is zero, this big goose egg right here. So getting chat GPT to generate your articles is definitely going to hurt you. It's going to make low quality content. That's definitely a huge risk you don't want to do. That's not sustainable, right? Any risky activity is not sustainable. I don't want you to rank for 6 months. I want you to rank for 6 years. I want you to rank for the next 10 years and make money off that site, right? Or make money off that client. And here's another thing to say. And so the difference between that and this tool, which has tons of experience and science behind it, is just night and day, just night and day. And I know anyone new to the industry, you're just gonna have to take my word for it. Like trust me, brothers and sisters and transgendered friends, you do not want to go onto some crappy AI tool that, especially if it's free, and generate the content, because you get what you pay for. And you might succeed for a month or two, or probably not, probably won't even index. And your heart's gonna be broken, and you're gonna be like, SEO is impossible, and go away. It's not impossible, but you need the correct tool. You need the right tool. And this is it. And I'm gonna prove that to you today. I'm gonna show you what. Okay, so as I mentioned, I'm ancient, and I've been doing SEO for a very long time. And SEO always used to start with the on-page process. People think basically these days is starting on step 2, and they forgot step 1, which I'll get to in a second. And they want to spy on their competitors, find what they think the boosting on-page keywords are, so that they can then stuff them into the right spots in the URL, the title, the meta description, the H1, the first paragraph, the rest of the page. And that's what they think on-page SEO is. But guys, I don't know where this fell off the map, but it had fallen off the map some time ago that we got in the industry. Maybe we got a little bit lazy, or I don't know. Maybe we thought we knew more than we did. But it used to always be standard operating procedure that you would always start with trying to find the best keywords to rank for to begin with. And I'm gonna give a sermon from the mount here for just a second about this, because it is so crucially important to understand how SEO works overall. And by the way, guys, the kind of SEO I'm going to be showing you today, you're like, oh, Josh, you're just talking about affiliate SEO, right? No, this is all of SEO. Every single kind of SEO does on-page, right? On-page is the basis of SEO. And to do on-page correctly, you need to start by finding the ranking opportunities. And I'm talking local SEO or global. I'm talking anywhere from porn to non-for-profit sites. I'm talking about consultant SEO, affiliate SEO, agency SEO, in-house SEO, rank and rent SEO, digital real estate SEO. Those are all the major kinds of SEO, and they're not necessarily mutually exclusive. And if you don't know what those were, you're like, Josh, what is rank and rent? How do I make money doing that? Email me. I'll be glad to explain it to you. It's a great way to make money now. An excellent way of making money now. Rank and rent SEO and digital real estate SEO allows you to work from home in your pajamas, and you can make like 10, 20 grand a month pretty easily by doing this. So again, email me, and I'd love to tell you exactly how you would do this. Okay. But so the on-page process I'm going to talk about here is valid for every kind of SEO, just so you guys know. And back in the day, it always started with finding the ranking opportunities. And if you're like, what do you mean by finding the ranking opportunities? This is what I mean. I mean, you would do these searches to try to find niches that have the money behind them and are easier to rank for. Pound for pound, should you try ranking for San Jose real estate, which is a very tough niche? It's 53% harder than SEO is in general across millions of records. So this is a very accurate toughness, a very accurate difficulty score. Far more accurate than any other difficulty score out there. And let me just tell you, quite frankly, our only other major competitor in terms of a difficulty score is Ahrefs, and they only base their difficulty score on links. That's it. And links are not even in the top 3 ranking factors anymore. I know this because I've scientifically tested it. I also know this because Google has publicly admitted it, that links are no longer one of the top ranking factors. OnPage is, quite frankly, which apparently people on Reddit are saying that OnPage doesn't even matter anymore. Okay, good. You guys keep thinking that, because we know better and we're going to make so much more money than you. Good. Yeah, you guys believe that. I might actually fan that flame. I might go on there and be like, yeah, totally. Buy links. Make sure you get the shittiest links. Those are the safest for sure. Yeah, I think that's what I'll go and do. Anyway, sorry. I have to keep it interesting for myself and make my little jokes. All right, here we got another person to join. Hello, Jesus. Welcome. Come on in. Okay, so really it's the difference between, like, at a high level, should I get into the business of San Jose real estate, which is super tough, or should I get into the business of maybe doing a crypto affiliate website or a crypto rank and rent website, which is only 7% harder than SEO is in general. These days, this one, and it changes, you see, this was 3 months ago, this is now. It's gotten easier, and there's more keywords. Things change, right? So running these all the time is super important. Super important. If you're like, well, Josh, how do I figure out which, I'm not just going to try to rank for crypto. How do I find out which ones I try to rank for? Well, then you drill down. Okay. You go into the report, drill down to see which ones are the ones that have the best final return on investment. So this is how this tool works. You put in a general idea here at the top, or you drill down to a more specific idea, like Stromer battery rebuild, right? Or add motor trike, or electric bikes, or how to regenerate knee cartilage naturally. And you see the money goes down, of course, because this gets very laser focused, whereas this is very broad. And you go from the broad and you drill down. You go, okay, now where in crypto do I want to try and rank? Well, there's some not recommended in here and some tough. And let me tell you what not recommended means is I do not recommend a new site, a new SEO, or an untrusted site tries to rank for this right off the bat. You can eventually rank for this, but not right off the bat because Google has an actual order of operations to how it works. I'll get to that a little bit later. But it's not equal. It's not an equal playing field. I'm here to tell you, I'm sorry, it's 2025. And although SEO has in some ways never been easier because of AI helping us, it's SEO has never across the board. Otherwise, SEO has never been harder, and it's never been more unfair either. Quite frankly, used to be anybody could rank for anything. Now, although it's possible, but practically speaking, there's an order of operations you need to do it. You need to build up trust with Google. You can't just try going for all the keywords at once. And you're like, oh, that's different from what everyone else says. Here's another SEO myth that my 30 years experience, I'm very happy to dispel for you so that you rank better and you do better. It's not equal. Not all niches are created equal. Some of your competitors have been building signals for 20 years. This is why you need to, one, find the ranking opportunities so you can fit into the niche and work your way into the bunch of people standing there yapping about it, and you find a space and you can start yapping about it. And then Google walking by, if you use this metaphor, if you follow the metaphor, Google walking by can go, I want your answer. And it points at you, like that. And it says, I want your answer. And you're like, oh, okay. And then you give it an answer and it's like, good, we gave you traffic. They clicked around. They did what was called in Google the long click, meaning they clicked around that page, they found the information, they scrolled around, you terminated the search, and or they clicked further in, you terminated the search. You answered the question. You did what Google needs you to do. Google doesn't give two shits about you, who you are. They don't give two craps about your WordPress template, or in some ways, they don't care how much time and effort you've put into it. They don't care how good you think you are. They don't care if you approach the world with what they now call main character energy. In Google's story, Google is the main character, and they have far more main character energy than all of us. And they're like, it's like the talent agent who's like, you give me your singing. No, you suck. Go away. You suck. Go away. You suck. You're decent. You can go. It's that kind of a deal. They're very, very draconian that way. And you need to work your way up to the tougher answers. So you need to find the easier keywords to rank for first, but the key is there's a problem there. Let's say you sort by the easiest here. And you're like, great, I'm going to try to rank for best crypto staking rewards 2025. It's very easy to rank for. Look at this. It's 56% easier than SEO is in general. Why is that? Because no one has it in their titles. No one has it in their page. Their sites are not dedicated to this. Their page is not focused on this. And we didn't get any links or traffic, sadly, in this. There's no links. We didn't get any traffic in this one. My API messed up. That's fine. It would be a little bit harder, maybe by 20%, but still, that'd still be very easy. And you're like, okay, well, I see there's a major.
Tengo training ahora.
That's really the only one my AI can analyze. But I can tell you right now, NerdWallet is a major brand as well. But again, AI does 90% of the work, 90% well, 90% of the time. So that's getting you way far ahead. It's definitely good enough to move forward on for sure. Somebody has asked something. I'm sorry, I didn't know there was noise. I don't have my earbuds in. 1 second, I apologize. 1 second, where is it? Participants, mute all, yes. Is that better? I apologize, I didn't have my earbuds in. Whenever I leave my earbuds out, that's when there's noise. I hope people could hear me for the beginning. I presume you could hear me mostly. Okay, now I have the earbuds in. Okay. So this is the important thing. You need to find the low-hanging fruit of the easiest keywords, depending on how powerful your site is. If your site is super powerful, and you're like, yeah, Josh, we already have thousands of rankings in crypto, well, then you can go right ahead and try to rank for stuff like this. Go right ahead, because it has the best final return on investment. At the end of the day, you need to rank for the keywords that have the highest final return on investment. I've got a controversial question for you. Is ranking number one the thing you want to do in SEO? Is that what you're trying to do in SEO? Rank number one? The answer is no. No, that's not what you're trying to do in SEO. You need to rank number one faster, cheaper, easier, in a way that you can iterate upon, that you can repeat, that is completely risk-free. And you need to repeat and rinse and repeat on that faster and more efficiently than everybody else. That's how you win at SEO. If you spend $10,000 and buy really risky links or whatever it is, and get number one or get on page one for a couple months, and then you're punted off because you didn't do the proper process, you wasted all that time and money, and you did not win. You did not win. Everybody seems to underestimate the quotient of time in SEO. And for doing this for 30 years, this is what I've noticed, this is what I've realized, is that you don't want to rank number one. You don't. That's not the goal of SEO. SEO is not part of marketing. SEO is part of business process. SEO is a business process play, right? The more efficient SEO is the one who wins. Think of it like this. You're all running the Boston Marathon, except that starter pistol started 20 years ago in some cases for some of your competitors. And you all have a certain number of lead weights shackled to your ankle. You need to have less weight shackled to your ankle so you can catch up to everybody else who's running with a whole bunch of different kind of lead weights because they're not following the most efficient process. And then you surpass them. That's the metaphor. That's where you're at. That's how SEO works. So please take that secret that has saved so many businesses and saved so many SEO projects of mine. And I've had both of them fail because I got cocky. I was like, yeah, I can rank number one. I'll just buy some links, blah, blah, blah. Fail, epic fail, hashtag fail. Or I'm like, no, I need to do my best job and find the low-hanging fruit keywords is what they sometimes call it. Although that presupposes you're going for long tail keywords, which are usually informational, which you're not doing necessarily. If anyone's curious about that, ask and I'll explain more. Because at the end of the day, I'm just following what the AI tells me. I don't care where in the sales funnel it is. And quite frankly, between you and me, the sales funnel has always been an abstraction that SEOs have made that was completely and utterly made up. The sales funnel is made up. And it's not really important for SEO at the end of the day. What is important is following what SEO Copilot tells me has the best final return on investment, which will make the most money, but is also the easiest to rank for. So this is money times ease equals the highest final return on investment score. And it doesn't matter what this hard score is, that's just for the system internally. It's comparative between all these queries, right? So you can, if you have a giant site that's already ranking for hundreds of keywords in this niche, you could just sort by final return on investment and then ensuring that you build from the top down of these pages, 1 a day, 5 a day, 10 a day, whatever you need to catch up to everybody else or maintain your content weight superiority to everybody else. That guarantees you will win because you're building faster, cheaper, easier in an iterative way that you can rinse, repeat. That guarantees that you will rank faster because it's of less difficulty statistically. At the same time, it makes more money statistically. Now, just to mention about the keyword revenue ballpark, which is this number, you're like, Josh, you can make $0.7 million ranking for market coin cap? And the answer is no, probably not that much, but close to it. The keyword revenue ballpark number is, I fully admit, a rough approximate. It could be off as much by a factor of 10. Easily could be off by as much as a factor of 10. For some of these keywords in here, for the local queries, because nobody's bidding on it in AdWords, which is the data we use to, we multiply this times a fraction of this to get this. And we fraction this off because ranking number one gets you about 30% of the clicks, or it used to. And then we assume a 5% conversion rate that we go up or down by how hot it is this year. And then we multiply it by this. Some kind of ratio of this because the Google Economist actually published publicly that people make a 1 to 2 ratio of return. So if you're bidding $2, you're making $4 on average. So we multiply that times that and we get this. That's a rough approximate. Your conversion rate could be way less. Your clicks from spot number one could be way less. Or just one single customer in a local niche that it says 0 keyword ROI. One local customer, a roofing customer, could net you 20 grand. So it could be way off in certain areas, but it is a valid and it is a good apples to apples comparison between the niches. This keyword, I guarantee you, will make far more money than try ranking for this keyword. They're not bidding as much. There's not as many searches. It doesn't make as much money. This cryptocurrency wallet will not make as much money as ranking for market coin cap, which good luck ranking for it. It's a brand, as you can imagine. But that's not the point. That's not the point. The point is the final return on investment, and whatever it's going to show you in your niche is what's important here. So, and again, if you guys, I'm going quickly because I have people in here who just want to get to the SEO Copilot training today. So I'm not really waxing philosophic a lot about other little SEO tidbits here or there. And I'm trying to keep it as concise for them as possible. If you have any other questions, please, by all means, ask them. And I will keep them up, and then I'll answer them after the session. Also, make sure you wait to the end of the session to get find out who wins the raffle for the 20 minutes audit from me, and then the consultation, 20-minute consultation from me, and the gifts and the other things that I have available, and the Ask Me Anything for those who are in the Zoom. Okay. And if anybody really wants to be included in the Zoom, I know what I can do. I can share the Zoom link with you in the YouTube. If you really want to join the Zoom and be part of the Ask Me Anything, you can twist my rubber arm. That's fine. Okay, so to review, if you've got a very powerful site, you're ranking all over the place for these things, and then you can probably sort by final return on investment, and that will guarantee statistically that you're building as smart as possible. You are building on the easiest keywords that make the most money as soon as possible, as fast as possible, as efficiently as possible. Because at the end of the day, never forget, you're running the Boston Marathon with weights on your ankles, is what you're doing. Okay, Deanne, that's a great question. I'm going to answer that at the end. Let me copy and paste it here in the notepad. Okay, thank you very much for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for interacting. I appreciate it, buddy. I will answer that in a bit. And it's okay, but what do you do? And you have to have the content velocity. Here's another major secret that I'm going to tell you. Content velocity is actually a boosting factor, not a demoting factor. The reason why out there they think content velocity is a demoting factor is because they built 1,000 crappy, shitty pages on ChatGPT. They indexed them all, or they didn't index even close to them all. They indexed like 100 of them, 120 of them, because Google doesn't index 1,000 pages at once, right? They do it in chunks, depending on how trustworthy your site is. And this site wasn't trustworthy to begin with. And then their rankings tanked. And they're like, oh, that means content velocity is a deranking factor. Do you see how that's cause correlation fallacy, or otherwise in the Latins, post hoc ergo propter hoc? Do you see how I was doing a PhD. I can say fancy Latin things. Ooh, yay for me. But do you see how that's bad science? Do you see how they did not isolate their variables? That's not how we operate building this app. That's not how we operate in underground SEO University. I know for a fact, because Google has leaked it and said it in the leaks. There's been numerous Google links of all of their ranking algorithms. One leak of all their algorithms, multiple leaks of definite specific algorithms. We know all the Google algorithms because they've leaked. This is public knowledge that it leaked. It's a 43 megabyte PDF file. I have it. I can give it to you if you want. It's 7,414 pages of Google ranking factors. And not only that, but like Android and Google Maps and all the different API programs they have, API apps they have for different things that Google employees can use, including, most especially, all of the ranking factors. Yeah, I lost my train of thought when I started talking about that. So yes. So again, if you're, I can't remember what big huge thing I was about to spill. I'm about to say it again. Okay. So oh yeah, it was content velocity. So yes, content velocity is a boosting factor if and only if you're producing quality pages. If and only if you're making a high quality page. And you might be like, Josh, what's a high quality page? That's completely subjective. Not anymore, my friend. We made a completely objective score, and we've correlated it with hundreds of thousands of records. So we have hundreds of thousands of records. It is in a massive statistical data correlative analysis with our 4 proprietary SEO scores. Our 4 proprietary SEO scores, which you can get nowhere else, based on my experience and undergraduate universities, stringent scientific testing proves that if you get those all in the green, you have done the best on page possible. You've made a high quality page that is going to be helpful based on the helpful content update. It's going to be talking from experience. It's going to have the expertise. It's going to be speaking from authority, using all the words, the entities you're supposed to be using based on experience, expertise, and authority. Therefore, you'll get the trust, and it will also be timely. So you're going to have the what we call the sheet, right? Your page is going to be the sheet, and that is a dad joke. I apologize, but it means you have the semantic keywords, the helpful keywords, the expertise keywords, experience keywords, authority keywords, trust keywords, and timeliness keywords. And those are all the ranking, those are all the main on-page factors are based in our 4 SEO scores, which I'll get to in a second. So I got good news. High quality content is no longer subjective, it's completely objective based on our 4 SEO scores. And so coming back to this, that means if content velocity is a ranking factor, that means you need to build very aggressively on these pages. Not only this, but if content marketing and site weight, WEIGHT, the weightiness of your site, the footprint of your site, how many pages you have, like I said, this is a race. And if you think about it, you're going to need to have as many pages as your competitors do, more or less. If you want to rank for, if you want to rank for, PI coin price, and you have competitors who have 1,000 pages about the PI coin, well, then you're pretty much indexed in Google. Well, then you're pretty much going to need to have around 1,000 pages too indexed in Google before you can gain ground or really kind of be on equal footing to them. And I got good news. Because our AI is so efficient and because the science behind our SEO is so good, here's the secret, you're not going to actually need to compete with them on a full 1,000 pages. You could probably get away with, rough guess, 500 pages to 600 pages. Because they probably haven't been doing as good SEO, just statistically, because they don't know what the ranking factors are the way we do. I don't mean to sound arrogant, but yeah, our testing is that good. We're that good. So that's the good news. You don't have to make as many pages, but you still have, did you hear what I said? You still have to make like 500 pages. So that's a lot of pages. And so what do you want to do? Those one a day? And then in a year, and just about 2 years, then you're ready to rank with these guys? No, build 10 pages a day. Build 10 pages a day, and then in 50 days, 50 working days, you've got, and take the weekends off, of course, as well you should. SEO is a challenging job, but you can work like 5 hours a day and then take the weekends off. This is still completely possible, at least with AI doing the work, heavy lifting for you. So take 50 days, build 10 pages a day, and then you will be around on par with them. But not only will you be ranking for Pi coin price, you'll be ranking for hundreds, if not thousands, of other queries as well. Because of the quality of which we build our pages, because the AI is programmed to make quality. It's an agent. It's an AI. It's an SEO agent we've built for you. We've built for you a number of SEO agents. They're using very complex, what is called chain of thought ideations. And so this is not your grandma's free AI tool. This is something I've custom programmed myself with my 30 years experience and knowledge and scientific proof. Okay, so now we know what content velocity is. Now we know why we need to build up big. And you're like, okay, Josh, that's great. But I don't have a site that can rank all over for this. I'm starting new, or I do have lots of pages on crypto, but nothing indexes. I can't get it indexed. I can't get it ranking. Why not? Well, the answer there is because you're not trusted by Google yet. And that's exactly the thing I was talking about before. You need to be, if you want to rank for any of these, you need to be trusted by Google. And then in order to do that, what I suggest is you need to sort by keyword difficulty and go to the easiest and start at the top of the easiest pages and start building these pages and build these 10 a day. And because these are easier, no one has given a good answer to this, right? Apparently, no one has put this in their titles here. No one has focused a site on it. No one's focused a page on it. So if you focus your site or page on this, you will get the rankings very easily, right? Very easily. That's why exactly what I said, very easy. How easily do you say? Well, I'll give you an exact number, which is at most one point off, maybe 2 points. It is about 68% easier than SEO is on average. The average SEO niche, which includes everything from porn to not-for-profit, everything from a local massage therapist to a multinational e-commerce brand, all of SEO, this is 60% easier than all of it. And I showed you why. No one really knows how to do SEO for this, apparently. No one really knows what they're doing. Great. And and I'll answer your question in a second, Dan. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that, buddy. Here is the here's the good news. It's very easy to build these up using AI. And so what you need to do is sort by the lower difficulty and build these from the top. If you need more, run more difficulties, right? If you're like, Josh, I ran out of difficulties. I've built for 3 days. Well, we're still on average. I built for 4 days and now I'm at very tough. Should I keep building? The answer is no, not if you can't even get a page indexed on crypto. Go down to the bottom and run more difficulties. Right now, like I said, we've got a deal. We've got a special promo on bonus credits. Use the system. I open the system up to some degree so that everyone can use the system. Everyone can use it and find out how to do these rankings is what I want everybody to do. And I want you to see the success you can have. And then you're going to find out, okay, look at all this. I can rank for these very easy keywords, and you can build these up. And because no one, that's what I was talking about, because you can see that nobody has a good answer for this. They're not talking about it enough. They don't have the semantic keywords. They don't have the helpful keywords. They're not speaking from experience. They're not speaking with expertise of someone who's been doing this 30 years, like my AI does. They therefore don't have the authority. Therefore, they don't get the trust, or they shouldn't get the trust. And they're not being timely, right? They're not putting QDF, query deserves freshness, timely keywords in there either, like my AI is going to help you do. So that is how you're going to win. You're going to be like, hey, Google, look, I've got a good answer for this. Why don't you try me? And Google's going to try you, and then you're going to get those rankings. And they're going to try you again. You're going to get more rankings. They're going to try you again. You're going to get more rankings. And I can prove to you this is how Google works. Here's one leak. Fire up Discord. Here's one leak from SEO University. Someone wants to see a bunch of wins. Here, I'll show you in a second. So this leak here, this was a leak from Search Norwich. This is actual Google ranking factors that they use. Here's the click age probability I talked about. This is a score that every page gets. And this is the score that my AI will optimize for you. So Google tries you out. And there's the site quality score you get from having many pages that got a good click age. This is the probability that people will stay on your site for the long click. That's the age of the click. It'll be a long click. They'll convert. You'll terminate the search. They'll like the page. They'll scroll down. They'll read what they need to read. They'll sign up for your newsletter. They'll enter in a contact form. They will download your PDF, whatever they need to do, whatever conversion they need to do, or they'll click deeper and they'll buy and they'll do whatever it is you need to do. Okay, so Deanne asks, is it possible to share some websites that use your tool? I know you can't show your clients, but sites that you've built yourself using this tool. Of course I can share, of course. Here are a whole bunch here. Here are someone doing mini sites. They're getting rankings within weeks on mini sites. Here is the positive ranking results versus the negative ranking results for people using SEO Copilot. Here is someone who used SEO Copilot to go from nowhere to position 16 and 11 in a day. Here's an SEO Copilot SAU site that I did recently. Here's a local one, Spot 2 in 2 days that our local guru Ryan did. Here's more wins. Here's more wins. Here's more positive ranking results. Here's more wins. 1 million impressions for the last year, 8,000 clicks. Here's more wins. And this is actually a great example because this shows exactly what I was talking about. And I can show you the actual search consoles for these if you want. This is what it looks like when Google's not sure. Have you guys ever seen this dots and dashes? Let me make this bigger for you. The dots and dashes you get in SEO Copilot, That's when they're not sure about you. But then they try you out, they click you a bunch of times, and then you get the rankings you want. If you want more information or for me to prove this to you, or want me to show you the actual Search Console, I'm more than happy to show you the actual Search Console. We have oodles and oodles of actual examples of people ranking very well with this tool that are current. This was from just a few months ago. These other ones here were current as well. This was from February 1st, 21st rather, just over a month ago, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Let me know if you have any more questions on that, Dan. Deanne, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Dijan, I'm not sure. Apologies if I mispronounced it. Okay, so let me quickly check YouTube's here. Do you guys got any questions? No questions? Great. All right, so that's what you need to do. You need to go here into SEO. You need to go to keyword discovery. You need to start with this because this is the difference between success and failure. Take it from me. Take it from me from 30 years experience and learn from my mistakes. Don't get cocky. Go in here. You need to, every single content marketing push needs to start with keyword discovery. You need to find the low-hanging fruit. You need to put in a keyword to see which one's the best one and what you should be trying to rank for. What has the searches? What makes any money, if anything? What's hot this year? And what is the easiest to rank for? It will be the difference. Do not go by what your boss tells you to try. Do not go by what your brain tells you to try. Do not go by what your client tells you to try. They don't know, right? The SEO landscape changes every day. Gen Z and Gen Alpha are talking to the AI. Autocomplete changes things. Or there are holes in areas here that you would never have considered, right? People get blown away from Google and they no longer are ranking anyone powerful anymore. That happens all the time as well, that people, Google blows people out of the water and they're not ranking here anymore. It's the difference between you accidentally trying to rank for good keywords versus deciding to try to rank for these from the start. And they're so tough to rank for, you will never succeed. I've seen this so many times. They try to rank for the hardest thing right away. Well, that's the money keyword, Josh. That's the one that has the most searches. This is the one that some other tool told me to try and said it was only 8% difficult. Again, do not go by anyone else's difficulty scores. They're all, I'm here to tell you as a scientist, they are bunk. They are completely bunk. There is no science behind them. It's just a facade they put out front that SEO used to be so easy for 20 years that no one ever noticed. Ahrefs and SEMrush have a huge reckoning coming because their data is absolute crap. And people are going to start to notice, sooner rather than later. Now that SEO has gotten difficult enough where you actually need the competitive advantage of an AI that knows what it's doing. Like you'll try to rank for cryptocurrency prices and good luck. On a new site, this will never work. Never work. And Google will never try you again, ever, right? They'll try you once for cryptocurrency prices, which is 100% harder than SEO is, generally speaking. And they will try you once, maybe on page 4, and they won't try you again for another 6 months. You will not have the gas to succeed, right? You're like, but Josh, you just said it'll try me again in 6 months. Yeah, but you're spending so much money and you've made $0 from the website for 6 months to 12 months, right? You need to start making money sooner so your client keeps you, so your boss keeps you, so you can keep doing this job. Trust me, guys, learn from my mistakes. You must start every content marketing push. You must start every single on-page process with doing keyword discovery first. If you do not, you have a high chance of failure. So please listen to what I'm saying. Learn from my mistakes. Okay, and definitely any SEO consulting that I would do would always start with that process. If you don't, you're doing a disservice to your clients. It's a gambling toss, whether you win or not, and the odds are with the house always, with Google, not with you. Okay. Okie dokie. So that is step 1. You have to start with the keyword discoveries. So how does that work? Well, it's very easy. Say here, we're in here, like, okay, we want to rank for something easy here. What was it here? Let's see, let me have a sip of my protein shake. Okay, so let's try try ranking for this staking coins here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this. I can also favorite this to get this into a favorite list to show the favorites for my customers. And I'm going to say find boosting keywords. Then I'm going to put in here United States, and I could track positions. We have free rank tracking. It's part of the package. So go ahead, track your rankings in SEO Copilot. Don't touch any of these, and say continue. Then what it's going to do is it's going to run a keyword spy report. So you see, it tells you it's running a keyword spy report, and that means it's going and looking at all the competitor websites and finding the boosting keywords that you need to use, which I'll get to in a second. But that's how you generate it from here. I can also get more ideas. I can click get more ideas on this, and it'll run another keyword discovery report on this particular topic. You can see here, and my AI will ideate, which is a fancy word for get more ideas. It found 23 different ideas, and then afterwards it would do the difficulties for you. You click here, start the keyword difficulties, and you'll get the difficulties for these different keywords. You see, that's how you drill down. That's how you start analyzing the space. You're like, oh, look at these. Okay, these are different kind of keywords I could try to go for here. DBX crypto staking coins is the same as all these different kinds of queries. These are what we call converted match queries. This is the EMQ, exact match query. These are what we call converted match queries. This is equal to all this. So you're going to try to rank for all these when you try to rank for this. And this is how you drill down. You're like, okay, let's see. Oh, this one looks good. We can try this one. We can try that one. These are all different pages you can build. And because they're very easy, they'd be great pages to try and build. The only problem with them is they don't make any money. We don't know. Google Ads doesn't have any money for this, probably because you're not allowed to buy ads for these. So we don't know which of these makes any money. So I would stay away from them, generally speaking, all other things being equal, because you don't know how much money they make. You don't want to toil and build a whole website for a year making no money. That is the wrong way to do it. You want to rank for the easiest keywords that make the most money sooner rather than later. It doesn't matter where in the sales funnel it is. That's the old antiquated way of doing it. That is going to help you fail. All right. So once you've analyzed enough of a query space that you have a chunk of pages you can build to do OnPage on, the next step is to do the keyword spy, to find the boosting OnPage keywords, right? And to do this, you can do that from keyword discovery like I showed you, or you can go to keyword spy and you could type in here any kind of keyword you want. You could choose a location and put in the URL for rank tracking. And then after that, go here to the reports. You see this one is already 60% done, the report. Now, you might be like, okay, Josh, so after I get it. Okay, you're absolutely right. SEO clearly is a business process play. Gotcha, no problem. And I need to be more efficient than everybody else. It's like a race that started 20 years ago, and it did. And I need to be more professional than everybody else. Fine, no problem, got it. So then after I find the keywords I want to rank for, I should do a search of that, and I should eyeball those pages and find out all the ranking factors and build my page from there, right? No, certainly not. Take it from me, trust me. I know everyone else in the industry says you're supposed to do that. I'm afraid they're leading you up the garden path. It is my mission in life to help you not fail. That's what I do in SEO, is I help people not fail. And that is a sure recipe for failure. It's 2025. Google has anti-SEO algorithms. Google will put pages on the first page of Google because it looks like they have a good answer, or they have the terrible SEO and they want to put it there to throw us off. Matt Cutts himself, who used to run the head of search spam, told me that's how they build AI algorithms. That's what they're doing. So you cannot do a keyword competitor research by eye for so many reasons. One, even if you were good enough, and I'm not this good, so you're not this good, but even if you were good enough to eyeball the pages and be like, everyone knows where the SEO keywords are, they're in the URL, wrong, they could be there, maybe not. The title, wrong, they could be there, maybe not. H1, wrong, they could be there, maybe not, or maybe they don't even have an H1. The first paragraph, wrong, not necessarily, and the whole page. Yes, that's correct. The entire page is what Google looks at. And I'm good enough to eyeball the special words and pick out the ones that are the boosting words, and I know they boost the most, and then I'll put them in my page in the spots I know are the right SEO spots. Wrong, you don't. It's different per niche. And that's what I'm going to do, and I will win. Even if that's true, which it is not, but even if it is, I'm sorry, I don't mean, again, douse your main character energy. And I'm sorry you read that on 15 other blogs made 15 years ago when SEO did work that way. It does not work that way anymore, right? I'm sorry SEO content's evergreen. It doesn't work that way anymore. Or it seems to be because that's what's out there, but it doesn't work that way anymore. If it did, I wouldn't have need to build this $100,000 app and work 2 jobs doing it. Trust me, if I didn't need to have this app, I wouldn't have built it. Because it wasn't easy to do. See this gray in my beard? It's stressing me out. But anyway, even if for the sake of argument, you're that good and that would work, it doesn't, and you're not, but let's just say for the sake of argument, you are, then how are you ever going to get ahead of your competitors? How? How are you ever going to get ahead of them? Your OnPage is just as good as theirs. You can't get ahead of them anymore from doing OnPage. OnPage is the best place, pound for pound, for cost, for time, for effort. And in terms of zero risk if you're doing it correctly, zero risk if you're doing OnPage correctly, that is the only place you can get ahead of your competitors who have already accrued 20 years of links, who've already accrued 20 years of traffic in some cases, right? All the other ranking factors, who already got everybody out there buzzing and talking about them. How are you going to pound for pound compete with that? That's like saying, okay, I know the starter pistol for the Boston Marathon started 20 minutes ago, but I'm going to run this race with the exact same weight of boat anchor on my ankle as everybody else, and I'm going to catch up with them, and then I'm going to surpass them. No, sorry, it doesn't work that way. I'm very sorry. I don't mean to bust your bubble, but it does not work that way, right? OnPage is where you need to get ahead of them. That is the only OnPage in terms of each page, and on-site building, site size, and weight, and about 20 other factors you need to learn in undergraduate university, is how you get ahead of them so that you can spend the minimum amount on links. You can spend the minimum amount on traffic. So you can spend the minimum amount on all these other factors that you will need and do it in the least risky way and let them take the risk. Let them try to make up the shortfall in buying risky links and those kinds of things. That is how you win at SEO. Please, if you want to ignore everything else I've said, don't ignore this. That OnPage and on-site is the cost-effective, risk-free way, if you're doing it correctly, to get ahead of them. There are anti-SEO algorithms for OnPage, right? There are spam algorithms, like 200 of them. Don't believe me? I can prove it. And there are quality algorithms. I already showed you a leak for one, right? OnPage can destroy your site. It can. So it's not, don't think that only links are risky and OnPage is not. Both are incredibly risky if you do them wrong. And links are even pretty risky even if you do it right, because you never know when someone's going to add that site or a site like it into the disavow file, and therefore give Google the tip, Google's AI the tip, that that's the kind of profile of a bad linking site that could therefore accidentally hit all of your sites because your site happens to be exactly the same as their site they put in the disavow file. There's another major secret for you. So linking has always been risky. It has always monetarily and tactically has always been risky. You do that as a last resort. That's the last thing we do in the process quite often. Okay, so and think of it this way. Even if you got equal to them, you're not going to be equal because you're going to accidentally import all of their mistakes as well. If you just copy what the other competitors are doing and use that as your guide, you're copying all of their mistakes as well, right? So you're going to get a smattering of maybe some good things, but also a whole bunch of mistakes. You can never catch up to them. Your efficiency is too low compared to them. You are going to fail. I don't want you to fail. So this is what you need to do. You need to use SEO Copilot. You need to use the AI. And you need to get the AI to analyze the niche in, like, by the time it took me to give you that sermon from the mount on not to eyeball the competitors. And you need to use the AI, let the AI do the analysis and get the factors. And you might be like, okay, Josh, I get it. You're right. So the AI will do this better than me because it's been programmed and it can do this more consistently. Yes, that's true. But it looks at the competitors, right? No, we don't even look at the competitors. Not really. I mean, we do, But what we're actually doing is that we're rebuilding you your own AI models with BERT, RankBrain, TWBERT, vector embedding, helpful content. These are actual AIs that Google uses, different AIs. Actually, they're umbrella AIs. They're agents with many AIs underneath them. We rebuild you all those models, and we tell you here in reports what the entities are that you need to mention. And you're like, Josh, these are the entities that come from the NLP demo? No. The NLP demo is not an AI that Google uses for on-page ranking. It is a version of the AI they use to single out entities for the KG, which is the short for the knowledge graph, but that's not a direct ranking factor. It's at best an indirect ranking factor. We actually rebuild you the actual models of the things they actually use, the entities that they actually use that you need to put in your page in a certain frequency to rank that my AI will do automagically for you 90% of the time. So that you don't even need to worry about it. The good news is that I've freed you really from the whole process of on-page, of doing that kind of on-page. What everyone thinks on-page is, you don't need to do anymore. That's the funny thing. You don't need to go look at the competitors anymore. Most of the time, 90% of the time, my AI gets all that information for you. And so when you're going through this process here, this you spend some time thinking here. This you just run the reports, you barely think about it. And then you skip right on to step 3, the article builder. After the reports are done and we got the entities we need to construct the article out of, then my article builder will construct the article builder will construct the article out of the entities that the Keyword Spy report found. We called it Keyword Spy because we thought you'd be spying on competitors 3 years when we made this, but we found that the AI is so efficient you don't need to do it anymore. So we kind of named it the wrong thing. I should have just called it your SEO Copilot or something. We thought, oh yeah, we'll use AI to spy on competitors, and we realized the AI is better doing it than we are, which is not surprising. The AI is a better chess player than we are. The AI is a better fighter pilot than we are. The AI is better at doing Go than we are. It's better at detecting breast cancer than we are. It's better at detecting quasars and things like that than we are. We should not be surprised. We're in the age of AI. AI is better at us than some things. We should just let the AI do it. D says, lately I've been hearing a lot about geo. How does this relate to on-page SEO and SEO Copilot? Okay, D, great question. Let me know what you mean by geo. Like, do you mean geo signals? Let me know what you mean by that, and I can answer it by the end here. But thanks for the question. I appreciate that. I will definitely answer it. If you mean geo signals, then I know what you mean. Generative search optimization. Okay, that's very similar to what someone asked about the AI mode above. So generative search optimization, is that what they're calling it? But how do you know it's going to be generative search? Wah, wah. There's more kinds of AIs than generative, but anyway, sorry. Deanne says, the Gen Z hype, LOL. I just call it SEO. OMG, yes, I understand that, my friend. Okay. So the good news is you don't really have to do anything here. However, there's some very important things I need to point out here that are major ranking factors that you may not have realized because other groups don't know about these ranking factors. So I need to mention them here. So the first one is under BERT, which stands for bidirectional encoder representation from transformers. It's a transformer, just like all these other generative models, these large language models that we've been talking about, including ChatGPT. T stands for transformer and ChatGPT. Google is the OG at GPT. Google is the OG. They created the transformer. They're the one who made it. So no one does it better than them, even though OpenAI has gotten a little bit of the limelight from them recently. That is a flash in the pan. Google is the one who invented this technology. They're the ones who know how it works the best. And they use it for rankings. These are the BERT entities that your top 20 competitors are using and how many times they're using these entities, like DBX price, staking rewards, DBX price today, tells you how many times you should be using it, DBX all you need, those kinds of things. However, also this. So there is a rumor in the SEO industry that query intent is a ranking factor. And do you want to know the answer? I know scientifically the answer. The answer is yes and no. Yes, in the sense that you definitely have to write your page about a certain topic to serve a certain intent. But is that what Google calls it behind the scenes? No, the actual secret thing that Google calls it is query interpretation. That's another leak we have, that Google calls it query interpretation. And how does it work? It's actually much less sophisticated than you imagine. Literally means that when people type in this EMQ, Google literally behind the scenes interprets that query and changes it into this as if they typed in this. It's literally that simple. Google takes this and interprets the query based on what other people have clicked before, because clicks are how they tell if their algorithm is working properly. And they know when people type in DBX crypto staking coins, what they really meant to type in, so we'll type in for them behind the scenes, is how to stake DBX cryptocurrency and maximize rewards, and information on the DBX price, market cap, and trading details. So this we call query intent. This is what we call query intent. This is actually query interpretation, and it is going to be vitally important when we get to the article builder. I'll show you in a second. Another thing, and really the only other thing you need to know about this reports, is the competitor HTML widgets. There's another myth in the SEO industry that page type is a ranking factor. And everybody knows that there's only like 5 kinds of page type. There's a blog page, and an e-commerce page, and a category page, and a review page, and a local service page. Those are the page types, right? Wrong, completely wrong. Yes, the HTML you use in your page is a ranking factor, a huge ranking factor, like 7 to 8 spots. A huge ranking factor. It's the difference between spot 10 and spot 3, easily. However, that's where the similarity to what the myths of the SEO industry end completely. It is actually, as you can imagine, far more complex than that. Google doesn't use the abstraction of the sales funnel. Google does not use the abstraction anymore anyway. Google does not use the abstraction of our created page types that we did merely for our laziness and for our convenience. What they do is they have something called DOM vectorization. What does that mean? The DOM stands for the document object model. This is the AI overview, by the way, that people are talking about. There's also AI mode, which I don't think in Canada I have access to yet. I don't believe in Canada I have access to it. But there's also AI mode, which will give kind of a ChatGPT answer, but that's anyone's guess. It'll stay that way. We're still very, very early. Anyway, the document object model is a tree like this that comes from your HTML, right? That's when Google renders the page and they make an object model based on it. Like here's the HTML, the head, the body, and they make a tree structure like this, a node structure. And then vectorization, what is in programming, simple layperson explanation. Vectorization in computer science refers to the strategy of utilizing pre-existing compiled kernels to perform operations all at once instead of all loops or repeat operations. That didn't really help. Vectorization is like averaging something out, except you don't average it out. You have a vector, right? And the vector is like a movement, right? Like what's your vector, Victor? It's a movement, right? And the question is, what is the movement of the actual objects in the object model that rank at spot number 1? As you progress towards from the 1000th page in the shard collection you get back, which is a fancy way of saying of all the documents out of the various databases, you get them back with what's called the Mustang server, which is Mustang is the main search server that Google has behind the scenes. It's called Mustang. It used to be Hummingbird, now it's Mustang. We learned this from the PDF file, the major leak. Because it's a workhorse, I guess that's why they call it Mustang, or because Mustang is a very hardy horse that does a lot of work anyway in the Americas. It can go far, which is kind of a good metaphor for your SEO. You need to be like a Mustang. You need to be efficient and go far. Anyway, not necessarily the fastest, the furthest. Oh, there's Matt. Hello, Matt. Not only is the objects in the object model that vectorize towards spot number 1 a ranking factor, the embedding of that object in parent objects. and the embedding of those objects in the parent objects. And the sister objects to that in the embedded objects are a ranking factor for that. So that means if you had an H1 in your page, you wouldn't get any special boost from DOM vectorization unless you did it that looks like this. You had it in a header tag. Nor would, for example, a section give you any boost unless you also had the ID, the property with it, an ID attribute. These attributes with these attribute values is a ranking factor. So all of this, all of the amalgamated vectorization of the most commonly used objects in the object model and text as well, including and not limited, including the content within it, is a ranking factor. And so this is the kind of format your article needs to take if you want to get those boosts or if you don't want to hurt yourself. And when it rendered, it looks kind of like this, and it kind of makes sense. As you vector towards number one for this particular query, DBX crypto staking coins, you need product listings, you need an overview, you need product listings and an image, product name, you need to have the price, you need to have an add to cart button, you need to have reviews, you need to have ratings, you need the reviewer name, you need the resources, you need a table of features and descriptions, and you need to have a copyright, 2025, your company, all rights reserved. These are the kinds of what we call HTML widgets or DOM artifacts that are going to boost you maximally. The more you have this, the better you will rank. The more you deviate from this, the worse you will rank, no matter what else you do on the page. And here's the kicker. Not only do not any other SEO group knows this is a ranking factor, so this is a major secret I'm leaking to you, but it's impossible to do by hand. It is impossible to look at tens of thousands of lines of HTML and then categorize in vectorization what gets amalgamated towards spot number one. What is the most common embedding of these as you go towards spot number one in every single different niche? Every single different EMQ space is a different niche, and they have a different vectorization for different pages. It's impossible. It's humanly impossible to do this. So that's another piece of super really good news, that our AI is able to do this for you, because it's literally impossible for a human to look at that much data. It just cannot be done. Okay, so those are just two of the things in reports that are important. So now, after a report is over, you don't even need to look at this. You can just go from the reports page here and be like, okay, after this article is done, I can go here and I can click AI article, generate it from here, or you can go to the article builder and generate it from there. And now notice, this is why I showed it to you, as you can imagine. Notice, so we're moving on to step 3. That's the end of step 2, very simple. Took me 14 minutes to explain it. Step 3 is where we're going to spend the rest of the time today, and that's how we generate an article, the different bells and whistles of the article, our high quality article generator, and how you would get all the 4 proprietary, very powerful SEO scores that we have that are going to guarantee your success, or at least that your on-page is done as perfectly as possible. How we do that using the article builder as well is what I'll spend the rest of today on. Okay. Now, so when I click the generate article here from the report, or I can go from the article builder here and say, okay, let's click this one. And we don't have an article yet. I could copy and paste something in and test it to see how well it's doing. Or I would recommend you generate the article here. So then I'll click generate article. And now you notice the topic of the article, AI assisted, is the query interpretation that we found from the reports. And so if you want, and some people are like, Josh, I want to write the article on whatever I want to write it. And I'm like, you don't really. The AI has spent a lot of time and finding out what the perfect topic of this article is that is going to guarantee that you're going to rank better. I wouldn't deviate from this, but they're like, I want to do this. I'm like, okay, fine. So you can type in whatever you want here, and that'll be the topic of the article. Or you can add more to this. You'd be like, make sure this is the most expert article with tips that will amaze and amuse the reader. So I could put that in here too, and it'll be like, okay, it'll do all that. The next thing you notice is we say match AI analysis of the competitor page type. And that was that thing I showed you in reports. That was the DOM vector, the HTML widgets. And so if you keep this text exactly as it is, it will use the HTML widgets from the report, or you can paste in your own HTML you want it to use here, or you can just give it instructions. Say, okay, I want to do a e-commerce style page. I'm going to have a lot of room for products. I want you to be able to just give me placeholders for that, and then I will add the products in later, or I'll show you how to do that automatically as well using a custom knowledge base, or you can give it whatever instructions you want. However, it is highly recommended to go with what the AI says, because that is statistically what we found is going to rank you the best. On average, I can report that users get anywhere from a 7 to 9 spot boost on average across the entire user base. Even the ones who are not students of underground SEO University. Across the entire user base, I have already publicly shown that we give you, on average, a 7 to 9 spot boost. In some cases, much, much higher, as I showed earlier. From nowhere to spot 11 in a day, for example. Okay. Other people have said, hey, Josh, all these AI writers out there, the ChatGPT ones, the free ones, Neuron Writer, all these other shitty writers that are crap, complete crap, you can't really change if you get the AI to generate it, you can't really change important things I want to change. Well, that's why we invented the custom knowledge base. The custom knowledge base is effectively just a writing brief. It's a whatever.txt file that you upload when you're doing these articles. You upload it here. And basically it's a writing brief, and you're just telling it, how you're going to write it, what you're going to do. You give it clear and comprehensive writing instructions and to incorporate proprietary information. You could have the article change however you want, and it will use the custom knowledge base that you have, the stuff you have in it, to the degree that it matches the topic of article, and to the degree that it matches the HTML HTML widgets, the page type that you're supposed to be building, that you put here and here, right? So how does it work? Well, it's pretty simple. It's all of this. Like, it's not just, this is not one custom knowledge base and this is a different one, although they could be. I would put all of this in the custom knowledge base, and I'd say, use this author profile, and I give it a name of the author if you have one. I'd give it the bio, and then I'd give it the Twitter. I would have a link to this as well, and it would use it. And then I say, write about this product, right? So this is how you could do more e-commerce or local services that are more advertorial, or even getting into e-commerce pages. AI can accommodate any kind of page, quite frankly, more or less. It can do 80 to 90% of the work, 80 to 90% of the time. And then as a human, that's your job now, is you just kind of make sure you approve what it's done, make a few little tweaks, a few little changes, and then away you go. So this is I told it to write about this product in this particular custom knowledge base, CKB. And this was for the EMQ CBD oil for pets, CBD oil for cats, to get your cat all stoned out, to chill your cat out. However, I wanted to write about this specific product, Ultra Pet TM, oil for cats. And I give it the price. This is a fictitious product, but it was for the query CBD oil for cats. So instead of focusing it just on CBD oil for cats, it focused on that, but then pivoted to selling Ultra Pet, which is an advertorial, which is a kind of e-commerce page, which is exactly what you want, right, in this case. So I said, write Ultra Pet TM oil for cats. Here's the price. Here's the 4 stars. Here's the key points to cover. Make sure you cover these points. I gave it the SVPs, the sales value propositions. So it didn't make up their own. So that's great. You can do that. And I said, use these testimonials. Here's one from Emily. Use this exact testimonial. It has 5 ratings, 4 ratings. Use these testimonials. And so I just said here, yes, use the custom knowledge base. And I imported it, is what I did. And then I said also, you could do the URL, title, and meta description to Pretty Please. And then it'll generate for you. So this could take anywhere from 5 minutes to 20 minutes, depending on how busy the system is. So what you need to do now is go build other pages. You can go build other pages. You can go, okay, let's close this. Let's go back to the home. Let's find more keyword discovery opportunities. Let's build more reports. Let's build more pages. You can go do that while this is writing, right? In fact, I quite often, from keyword discovery here, I will quite often go and build lots of different pages. I'll go, okay, podcasting, all right. And I want to build on all of these queries. I want to build this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. And I could find boosting keywords for all of them and write them all. I could do them all simultaneously. So that's how you save the time, right? Those are the 5 pages I'm building a day, so to speak. So yeah, anyway, so that's how you would generate the article. It's very simple. That's weird. It's still generating. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That's what it should be doing. So let me see here. What other articles do I have here that I might be able to do here for you? Let's see here. Breast augmentation, Chicago. Is this something I copy and pasted in? Yeah, this is something I copied and pasted in. Apologies for the gratuitous picture there if that offended you. It wasn't that gratuitous, but kitchen reno price. Let's see the article builder for this one. Okay, great. Okay, so here is a kitchen reno price page. This is an article that got generated. And so this is kind of how the article could look coming out. And we're going to get these scores here. I'll just regenerate them to make sure that they're all accurate. And so you look at it, it's got expert tips. Great, that's what I want. Cost breakdown by renovation level, material choices, labor costs, budgeting tips, pros and cons, key considerations, get started with your dream kitchen. And I used my custom knowledge base for these guys, Condor Builders, so it did the right year and put in their brand name, which is good, and put in more information about them and how people should be building the pages here. Okay, so this is a pretty good article out of the bat. You can see that it can generate these scores. So let me go through and get them, a lot of them in the green off the bat. Sometimes it does it gets all the scores in the green off the bat, but not always. It's a work in progress. Our high quality writer beta 2.1, our high quality article writer, is a very intelligent piece of software. It's an AI agent. I built an AI agent to do this before the phrase AI agent was even popular or out there at all. And I use a complex chain of thought ideation with multiple interacting AI agents that kind of work like a writing team, and they build the article all together. They write it, they edit it, they check it, they approve it. And it's pretty good for getting most of the scores in the green off the bat, as you can see, but not always. It doesn't always get all the scores in the green. Sometimes the scores are in the red, and sometimes you need to fix them. So let me go through here what these scores mean. And so you know why they're important, and that's the final bit we're going to do today. You're going to know why these scores are important and how important they are and in what order. And then you're going to know how to manipulate them and get them all in the green as quickly and as easily as possible. And it is very quick and easy after you understand it. So unless there are any questions, let me quickly check the YouTube for any questions. No questions here. Fantastic. Okay, great. So here's how the scores work. So like I said, we have 4 proprietary SEO scores. These are very, very important. I'm very proud of these scores. I put my name behind these scores. These scores are going to help you rank better. My whole business plan, as I told you, is just to help you rank better. If I help you succeed at SEO, then you'll have the money to keep paying me to be a student in SEO University or to be a customer of SEO Copilot. It is my job to help you rank. That's all I'm trying to do. And in doing so, I knew that all the other AI writers out there are not doing a good enough job, so we couldn't use any of them. And we built our own. And we built it with these 4 SEO scores in mind. So let me go and tell you, with my 30 years experience, what these SEO scores are and the hundreds of thousands of records we built them off of to prove that these have better ranking factors. The one that is the most important score, I'm wondering, can you guys guess? Just try to guess in your head which the most important score here is. But the one that is the most important score that highly, highly correlates with #1 rankings to get into the range is this Google Semantic Score. The Google Semantic Score is kind of like keyword density, but it's like keyword density on steroids, because keyword density is not really a ranking factor anymore, only because it's just not complex enough to appreciate what Google is doing. Yes, Google is using entities. This word has a score of 1 point. This word has a score of 10 points. This score has a score of 0.1 points. And all the words, every single word, including stop words, are added up and they have a score. So every word is a keyword now. That's another reason why you were going to fail when you tried to eyeball your competitors on page one, because you don't realize now that because Google is using AI to do this, every single word in this document has a score associated with it, either positive or negative. Some of these words are hurting you from ranking, and some of these words are helping you to rank. But you can't go over the threshold because Google also has over-optimization penalties. So like this page right now is 2 points over. This page right now is 2 points over the threshold. The Goldilocks zone, as we call it, is between a score between 47 and 57. And this is based on your competitors. This is based on whatever the competitors here have in Google semantic scoring. And so this is based on this. That is how you get the ranges for this, right? So that is something that we need to look at the competitors, but the AI needs to do that because it needs to add up the score of every single word and add that up. All these entities are listed here under score, under entities and score, and tells you how many times you're using these entities and whether you've missed any that could be important, we call the spread keywords. That also is here under the SEO tab. The SEO tab is going to become your friend. And it's going to tell you down here if you're missing any spread keywords or not. And it's going to tell you here what the entities are you want to use. Home Depot apparently needs to be mentioned a lot by your competitors. Average size kitchen is another one that could be important. So that's the most important score. If you're going to ignore all the scores, which I don't recommend because you're probably not going to rank, but if you need to get one score in the green, it's the Google semantic score. It is the most important one. It correlates very strongly to rankings. Like it's a dead obvious signal. When you have your score here like this, you ranking on page one. If you're under this, you very sharply are not ranking on page one. When you're over this, you can kind of rank on page one. Would you believe that under optimization is even worse than over optimization? Despite all of Google's lying on the subject that you don't want to stuff in keywords? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You need to stuff in keywords. That's what on-page SEO primarily is about. That's why we did all that process to get these words and the score of these words. That's how you're going to build the best pages on the easiest queries that make you the most money, that is going to help you rank faster, sooner, better, and for long term without risk. So it's the semantic score, which is the most important one. That's number one with rankings that you need to worry about first. The next score, that is the second most important, is a tie. ZR asks a great question. How does one add spread keywords to an article? That's a great question, my friend. Thank you very much for asking it. The short answer is generate the article again. The AI, humans can't do this. I mean, you can take 10 hours to research what what the actual data is behind this, because you're not a 30-year expert. Google only wants to rank pages that are written by 30-year experts. So in order to write this by hand, you're going to have to do 20 hours of research to find out what all the expert tips is for this in general, for the location you're talking about. And then you're going to take another 10 hours writing it by hand. And then when you do that, you're going to have huge holes here in the entities that you're missing. And then you're going to have to manually either highlight this and then get my AI to upscore it, and so it adds in more keywords, or you're going to have to manually add them, taking another 30 hours. And so it takes you a week to make a page. That's not going to work. You are not going to be successful. Just period. Period. That's way too slow. You can't do SEO that slow. It's just not going to work. Maybe, okay, if you put my boots to the fire, maybe if you're doing like roofing in Beausejour, Manitoba, 2 hours outside of nowhere, and there's only one other roofing company and they don't even have a website, yes, maybe you could take a week to make a page and then make 4 pages on your site, and maybe you get some rankings because you have absolutely no competition. Maybe that would work there in like 0.5% of cases. But in 99.5% of cases, you cannot take that time to do this manually. So the short answer is you don't put the entity keywords in, my friend. The AI does, because the AI is the only thing smart enough to do it all, because every single one of these words is an entity that you need in a certain frequency. And some of them are entities you don't need in a certain frequency. And my AI is automatically programmed to do all of that for you. And now maybe you're starting to see, oh, wow, this is much more complicated than I thought it was. Yes, yes, it is. And oh yeah, now I understand why Underground SEO University built this tool, because they literally can't do it by hand anymore. So, I mean, that is absolutely true. So I hope that answers your question. Either way, you're going to be highlighting this and you're going to be getting the AI to stuff in the keywords per paragraph. So it'll totally rewrite your human writing anyway, making it a complete waste of time that you did it that way in the first place. Or you just regenerate the article. Just generate another article, and in 20 minutes, you'll see something more. You'll see a much better spread of entities, and way less of them are, you see? Look at all the top entities here. Most of the top entities here, ignoring the EMQ, because you don't want to stuff that too many times. Most of the top entities are being used already. Only the word does is missing in like kind of the top scored one. So it doesn't really matter. But we're not saying the word reno. That's interesting. Kitchen renovation costs. Yeah. Kitchen reno. There we go. Now I've added it. Like you add like one, you're missing, right? Okay. That's how it works with AI. AI is not going to take anyone's job. Not right now. Not in SEO. It is far too complex for the AI to do it all. But AI does 90% of the work, 80% of the work you didn't even know you needed to do, 90% of the work that you can't even do, and gets it right 90% of the time for 90% of your pages. And at the end, you're just like, oh, I missed Reno. Okay, added Reno. There you go. Boom, done. The next scores that are equally most important are all of these spam scores. The spam score for the URL, because you can have spam here. Spam score for the title. Spam score for the meta description. Spam score for the H1. And the spam score for the body content. You can have over-optimization in all those places. Sometimes you want over-optimization in all those places. And the average predictability length. Let me explain what the average predictability length is. The average predictability length is a duplicate content, boring content, prosaic business basic content, unhelpful article content, and AI-generated low-level writing content all in one score. This score doesn't have a threshold. It doesn't have a range. It has a threshold. You need to be, see it's green here. You need to be under 4.11 in the system. And between you and me and a Zoom call, you can be as high as 4.13, and that's perfectly fine. In my latest testing, 4.13 is perfectly fine. More people are using AI content, so that went up a bit. So that's fine. But however, this very strongly correlates with rankings. The higher you are above 4.13, if you're like at 4.2, 4.3, that's not such a big deal. If you're at 5, that's a big deal. If you're at 6, you're not going to rank. You're not going to rank. And what does this mean? This is the average number of words in a row, per sentence on average, you're allowed to have that duplicate content would have, boring basic business would have, or AI-generated content would have. You're allowed 4, it's not words actually, it's word pieces, tokens. So you're allowed 4 tokens in a row. So this would be 1 token, 2 tokens, 3 tokens, 4 tokens. This is how much you're allowed in a row, roughly, on average per sentence. Before, if you go to 4.3, if you're starting to do this on average, or you got 5 or 6 tokens on average. If you're doing that many words in a row, that's how good our AI writer is. That it's still detectable as AI content. I'm not saying it's not. I'm also saying that doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter if it's detectable as AI content. That doesn't matter one bit. What matters is this score here, if it's boring, if it's low quality AI writing. So you're allowed about this much in a row of tokens. If you go to this much in a row per average on sentence. And if you go to this many tokens in a row on average per sentence, you're going to get nailed. You are not, this does not correlate with number one rankings. If you're doing 6 in a row, it doesn't even correlate with page one rankings. There is definitely a causation in there somewhere with that correlation. And so that's very important to make sure you get this one down. These two are probably the most important to get down, and the spam scores. You have to make sure the spam scores are in the frequency you want. Now, you might think the spam scores are a threshold, and to some degree they are, but that's a little bit misleading, right? That's a little bit misleading. The spam score you see always has what a competitor has in terms of their average spam they have. And you want to be close to that number without going over. For 2 spots, for the H1 and the body. For the H1 and the body, you want to be close to this score without going over. Because that means they've stuffed in a bunch of partial match keywords into their headings that you need to be mentioning as well, right? And they're mentioning all these entities that are important. Entities like kitchen reno. Kitchen reno here is a very important entity, and you need to be saying it as many times as they are, preferably. And where do they say kitchen reno here? Nowhere. These people don't talk about kitchen reno at all. That's really weird. Kitchen reno. It's very weird. Kitchen really have kitchen. That's really odd. So that's why the body score is so low. These people don't know how to do SEO. So the problem is you have to pretend you don't know how to do SEO. So that's why the body score, spam score is only 15%. It's so low because they're not stuffing in the important entities like kitchen reno or kitchen remodel or kitchen renovation or price, for example. How many times do they say price? Okay, well, at least they say that. So you can say price up to 4 times. At the very least, possibly more. So how many times are you saying it? You go here to entities, and you do, again, you can search for price and see, okay, how many times am I saying it here? Price. Here we are. We're saying it 2 times. Great, I could say it 2 more times based on what the competitors are saying. So that's kind of how you do a little quick check. Do you see how you're pretty much in line with the AI already anyway? You very rarely need to do this, but because I'm such, I'm such a control freak when it comes to SEO, as you can imagine, I've been doing it for 30 years, so I want full control of everything, but I also want my AI to do all the heavy lifting for me. So I get the best of both worlds. I get the AI to do the heavy lifting, but then I can also do my super expert SEO on top of it. So we're saying it twice in here. We could say it a couple more times. But if I say it in here, that's going to be a little bit kitchen renovation price. I could say that because now what's that going to do is going to bring up my H1 here. My AI is like, that's not that bad. Okay, I can't. That's interesting because renovation and reno kind of mean the same thing. I could also, to see what the actual score is, I could be like, what do you think about this price? What do you think about this H1 score? You want to bring it up a little higher because they're at 50%. And if you're at 0%, that means you're probably not mentioning enough keywords. There we go. Now it's like, we stuffed this in here. And now this is a problem. Yeah, okay. So another pro tip I can do is I can delete all this content here and I can run this again and see what it says for the H1. See if that works. Want to isolate the H1 score from the body spam score. That's weird. 30%, 15, yeah. 0, okay. Okay, so Control Z, put that back, great. Save this, fine, okay. Okay, so anyway, generally for the URL, the title, the meta description, you want to be 0%. There's no need to be spammy here. There's no benefit to being spammy in these places, right? We want the perfect URL, 0% spam, perfect title, 0% spam. You notice it also has the date signal in it. Remember I said you need the sheet. You need to be the sheet, and sheet stands for the semantic keywords, all these. The helpful, experience, expertise, authority keywords are in here and here and here. All those. The trustworthiness, which is in here and here, all those. And timeliness. There's some of the keyword there. And then last but not least, in terms of these scores, the last one you need to worry about is the heat score. This heat score is really impressive. It gives you a breakdown on all the actual questions. This is the actual data that Google used to train their own helpful content AI. And a score of 7 is barely a pass. And so as long as this is green, you're probably fine. If this is not green, you're going to have trouble. Now, I fully admit this one correlates with rankings the least because it's the most esoteric, it's the most vague, it's the most subjective. But if you see a bunch of 7s in here, and you're like, I am writing about a bunch of different topics. I am using extensive automation. I am writing simply about things because they're trending. I have not made a insightful analysis content with interesting information that's beyond the obvious. That's kind of the most important one there. You definitely need a 7 here or higher for that, no matter whether this is green or not. Because what's going to happen is you may even get tried by Google, like I showed you here. You might get tried by Google, but you're never going to get solid rankings if it's not a helpful article to human beings. If it's not a helpful article to human beings, not answering their questions, it's not giving them what they want, and better than the way they want it and expected it, then you're going to keep just getting dots and you're not going to get solid rankings. So this one's the most important. These two are second important. This third one is the third important. If I'm being honest, you put my boost to the fire in terms of the science, in terms of what correlates with rankings the most, but that's the order. Okay, and so let me check here under, here we go. So here's a great example of an article getting generated. You see, we got an article generated and we got 900 words out of 1,240. It's telling me all these overviews. It's giving me all this metric value stuff that we're supposed to do. That's good. Maximum mistakes, risks and considerations, expert insights. Actually, it seems to have added some extra content on top to try to make a bigger article. So this kind of got a little bit, this is a great example. Sometimes it does it right out of the box. Sometimes you need to play with it. You see there's 3 scores that are in the red that we need to address. And this is commonly what you'll see. It'll be a little high on the average predictability, and it'll be a little low on the semantic score. So that's great. It's got a table of contents. Is that what we needed? Did we need a table of contents? Does the competitor HTML widgets have a table of contents? It does not. Okay, so I don't need that table of contents. So here's a good example of maybe just trying again. You're like, okay, I don't like how it did this. I'm not crazy about how it did this. I can just generate an article again and see if it'll do better. Maybe give it different instructions. Maybe the instructions I put in kind of messed it up a little bit. Because remember, I added in instructions, which I told everyone not to do. But if you're like, okay, I don't want a table of contents, that's not part of the DOM vector. So the AI was just riffing with that. I don't need that. And you can always go into the HTML here and try to get rid of this unordered list. That's a waste of time. Although it wanted to put it in a nav. You notice it used the header because remember, that was part of our DOM vector here. Okay, get rid of overview. All right, so now what we can do is we need to fix this, right? So let's say this is the article we got. So now we know which scores are important and why. Now we're going to go in here, we're going to run all the scores and see where they are. I noticed that the heat score is better because it analyzed the full content. Now we're going to also go over the article and do the kind of final dressing on the SEO is what we're going to do. Okay, so I scrolled down here quickly and I noticed that it kind of did a bit of a kind of, so we have benefits there. We have market insights, which is different, step-by-step guide, risks and considerations, expert insights. Okay, you notice here, it gives you a placeholder. Here's something you should also pay very close attention to. And our heat score is very close to being not good enough. So that's great. That's a perfect example. I very rarely get this. So now I can show you guys stuff. Here's one thing that you need to scroll down and notice. Now, I don't know if the FTC still functions in America. I don't know if they've all been fired. But last time I checked, and I'm not a lawyer, can't give legal advice. Please do not construe this as legal advice. However, I did notice the FTC recently made it illegal to have a testimonial that is AI generated. It's illegal to have fake testimonials. So my AI has put, so you pay close attention. You need a testimonial because that was part of the page type. But, and trust me, if my AI wants to put it in, it's a good ranking factor. I'm not putting things in here that are bad or are not required. So it's kind of a sneaky way to tell a bunch of ranking secrets that SEO University knows because they put it in here. But anyway, however, this is obviously not a real person, Jane Doe. Now, between you and me, would this rank good? Yes, it would rank good. Google doesn't know if it's not a real testimonial. You still, I mean, actually that's wrong. That's totally wrong. I just lied. SEO doesn't care if it's a testimonial they cannot verify to give you a little bit of a boost. But you get a much bigger boost if it is a testimonial they can verify. So what you want to do is you want to replace this with your Yelp reviews or your GMB review and have a real name from a real verified person from a tertiary third-party site that hosts the review. And then you also have to put a link here to the review. Link real testimonial / review. So Yelp will be fine, GMB will be fine. Anywhere that you can get real reviews or testimonials. So notice that. You have to scroll down and look for placeholders where the AI is like, listen, you didn't give me a custom knowledge base, dude. So I don't have any testimonials that are real. So I'm going to put a placeholder here. So remember it did that because this is technically illegal. So although you are responsible for the content you put on your page, SEO Copilot in no way bears any responsibility for that. And I'm telling you that we shouldn't because the AI is not ready enough to do it on its own. But that's fine. It did put a placeholder here for you that you can put in a real testimonial. Okay. Let's do this. Let's take this. Let's take this. Let's take this and go to here. Cut that out. Let's put this in here. Boom. So I just have to copy and paste a little bit. How to do this? Some kind of block quote. Is this a block quote? Is this what this is? It put a block quote in here. Okay, that's interesting. Did it put a block quote? It did that because I said make sure you're writing from an expert perspective of 30 years. Is block quote part of the, remember I varied from the instructions like I told you not to do. Is a block quote part of this? Block, oh it is. Look, there's a block quote in the competitors. Great, okay, never mind. Never mind AI, you're right, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to doubt you, I'm sorry. I'm sorry CP, that's our Copilot, CP. I didn't mean to doubt you. And it's telling you how to fix all this stuff, by the way, as well. All the stuff I'm telling you here, it's telling you how to fix. Oh, and look, I have a bunch of 6 out of 10s in here. Oh, that's great that it told me that. That's why this score is so low. This needs more helpful content, which is great. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So first I need to move things around. Understanding it, what is it, the benefits of it, market insights of this, and then a step-by-step guide, maximizing your stake reward, risks and considerations, expert insights. Okay, I already have the risks. Which risks is better? Which risks is better? Risks and considerations. I like a table. I like a table of risks and considerations. And I also want pros. Top points to consider. And then get your DBX coins today. Want to call a call of action at the bottom, right? Is that what we're doing? Staking coins? Yeah, okay. So then, I don't know. I don't know anything about this topic, but I don't need to. I don't need to do 20 hours of research anymore. Okay, so here's the thing. I don't like any of these ones. I don't like these ones. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this. And I'm going to go potential pros and cons of staking DBX. Okay, and I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to take top points and put them here above this. That makes a bit more sense. Okay, great. Now this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a paragraph here. Great. Okay. Now this is what I'm going to do. There's a whole bunch of ways. So I've fixed this article. I've streamlined it. Took me 3 seconds. Great. No worries. Now what am I going to do? Now there's a bunch of things I can do. I can go here and add in more content. So get rid of this, go to content, and I go to the helpful content update because that's what I need to add. I need to improve the heat score, which is too low. This heat score it's not insightful enough or not interesting enough. It's going to have a bunch of other 6s in here as well. It's not adding value. It's just summarizing what other people said. So you need to add value, right? It can't be obviously made for SEO content. My AI has helped you here. It's found this out, right? It's made for search engines and not for humans. We need to make it for humans and search engines is what we need to do. So how do I do that? Well, it's a bunch of ways to do that. One way to do this is I could highlight this paragraph here, and I go to the up score button because I need to increase the semantic scores anyway, and I need to say, okay, I want you to make a bigger paragraph here. And we wait for it. So the up score button, you see, woo, boom, it'll put in a way bigger chunk of text. And then understanding this, I need to upscore this. And replace it. I could be like, okay, you can click it a couple times and see what it gives you. Boom. A much bigger piece of what we want, to which we can bold things that we think are of value, right? If you're like, how do you do that, Josh? Well, take this. You're like, Josh, this is too long for people to read. No problem. Come down here and say, please bold the words here that are important for the user. So I can copy and paste it into my article. So CP can easily do that here for you. I could have asked CP, please make me a detailed pros and cons list with all the pros and cons to consider for this topic. I could have done that too. That's not how I want to generate that content though. I want to show you a different way to generate the content. That's probably going to work a little bit better. So here we go. Boom. It made it bold. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Take this, put this here. Boom. Great. Now we have certain words bolded, so it's easier to read for the customer, right? You could do it that way. Save it. Okay, now this is what I'm going to do for the pros and cons. Now what I'm going to do, which are going to come down here. Now I'm going to go up here to content, and I'm going to go to the helpful content update. And I'm going to demonstrate firsthand depth of knowledge experience. I'm going to say after they leave, they feel like they've read something that's satisfying. And I'm going to leave them without needing to search again. These are all crucial things for helpful content, for the helpful content update, which is a real thing. Although they don't have a separate AI that does this anymore, it's just worked into their core algorithms. They do still look for it, and they look for this on every single page. So I'll say, write this. And I'll say, okay, great. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to take this, copy this, close this. I'm going to paste this in here. And then I'm going to go back up to content, and I'm going to go to the product review. Now, you might be like, we're not selling a product here. And the answer is yes, you are. Every single page, you're selling something. You're selling a product, even on the so-called informational pages. And this is more than just a product review. This is the review AI. This is how you express expert knowledge about products where appropriate. This is how you differentiate yourself from the competitors and make sure you are have the absolute most important content. So I want to express expert knowledge. I want to cover comparable products. I want to discuss the benefits and drawbacks. That's the main one. And this is one I love to do because it usually gives great information. I want to identify the key decision-making factors for the products category. And I want to say, write this. And it's going to come out with a whole bunch of them that I could just add to the article. But I want to flesh this content out a bit better first. So we got to wait a couple seconds for this to get generated. So I'm going to come in here, and just so I make sure I don't lose any content, I'm going to paste in, is that what it is? No, that's not what it is. Come on. Come on. There we go. It was a lot that I asked it to do. Okay, we're going to take all this. Great. I take all this, close this, then I'm going to go down here. I'm going to paste this in here. Then I'm going to say, from all this helpful content, please make a master pros and cons table with tons of data, tons of tips, tons of help for the reader. Make this the ultimate pros and cons list for this topic, like a 30-year expert would. Speak from that perspective. Great, because that's all who Google wants to rank. Google doesn't want to rank anyone else. If you don't have 30 years experience in this topic, Google doesn't want to rank you. So you might be like, well, Josh, I don't. I'm just an SEO who was hired to do this. Okay, well, you got to fake it now. And that's another reason why you cannot do this without AI. You cannot spend 30 hours researching this in a week and then generate one article. Not fast enough. You'll never catch up. So then I say, go. So CP goes, okay. So it's going to generate, hopefully, a giant, huge pros and cons table here, because we need to add the content, right? We need to add, well, actually, we're getting close to the average, but I need to have more semantic content for this. I need to have predictability for this. Okay, well, we have a lot of content here. Okay. Okay, let's take all this. Hopefully it didn't leave out a lot of the content. There we go. Copy this, put that here, paste it here. Boom. There we go. Ooh, yeah. That's the way I like it. Look at that. That's a nice, sexy pros and cons table. That's going to help some users, right? That is going to warn them as well as amaze them. That's great. So get rid of that. Boom, boom, boom. Put up here. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Now save it. Great. And I also like to do Control-A, Control-C and put that in the paste buffer. That's just an old Windows tip. All right, great. So now we've fleshed out this article quite a bit. Now let's rerun this. Let's rerun this. Rerun this. Rerun this. Okay, so that was the problem. The problem, interesting. The problem was that we were under content here. We were under the threshold here. We needed to raise that up, and you need to raise that up by adding more content. We were over the threshold here. And the heat score was low, which shouldn't be low anymore. That should have fixed it. I'm not entirely sure why that's doing that. That's a great example, though. That never happens, actually. I don't know why that's doing that. And now the title doesn't like the spam. That's also quite weird. Oh, right. I've never run the spam scores on this. That's right. It's a different page. That's why. Okay, great. So we got a lot of stuff here to fix. That's great. That's perfect. Okay, so when this, and I told you this happens all the time. When this score is too low and this score is too high, what we need to use is the Marvel movie muscle building magic that they do. Like, so, guys like, Chris Hemsworth or Hugh Jackman, these guys, they put on a bunch of muscle for these movies. This is how they do it. They start from the top and they add a bunch of weight on top. So that's what we do. We start from the top and do plus scores and add more content until we get down to being way over this score. And this will be way over as well. And then what we do is we trim it with the minus scores button from the bottom up until we get these two scores into the green. And that'll quite often fix these scores here as well. So I've already done that, but I haven't gone far enough. I need to get this lower. So I need to get this higher, right? When I use the minus scores button, all the scores will go down. When I use the plus scores button, all the scores risk going up. So you need to get this up at where you need it to be, over of the thresholds. Then you need from the top to the bottom. Then you go to the bottom and minus them all down by clicking some buttons. And then usually that'll fix all the scores. Okay, so that's what I did. I already built this one. I've already done this one. Okay, great. Let's do what is staking. Let's add the score here because I need to go way over this number. Let's do this again. Add scores. Replace. Okay, that's good. Benefits of staking ABX. Let's add to this. Boom. Let's add to this. Boom. Let's add to this. Boom. Can't add much more there. Let's add to this. Let's try it again. Try it again. Sometimes you don't have much to add. Okay, fine. Boom. Okay, let's rerun this. Let's rerun this. See, now we're over. Now we're way over. Perfect. That's what we wanted. We wanted to be way over. Now what we do is, because we're way over here and way over here, now we need to go from the bottom and up and minimize it. So let's minimize this. Let's minimize this. Now let's bring this back down. Let's bring this one back down. Great. Let's bring this one back down. Great. Okay. Rerun this. Now we're almost there. This one might go down a little bit because most of the text is in these two big paragraphs here. Yeah, it's fluctuating. Let's minimize this now. Replace it. Okay, let's save. Let's run this again. Rerun this, rerun this. Now this is perfect. We're on the closer to the top end of this, which is where we want to be. And this one is perfectly fine. Like I said, if you're at 4.2, that's not such a problem. You can kind of keep this way. That's perfectly fine. 4.22 is actually only 0.08 or 0.09 over the 4.13 where it can safely be. And now you notice that we got rid of some of the extra SEO jamming in keywords and spam. Now you notice the heat score is perfectly fine. It's like, oh, okay, now I see that you're not just doing spammy SEO content. You've got some helpfulness here. Great. Do you see how all the scores kind of work with each other? So I can leave this here if I want. If I wanted, I can highlight this and minimize this, and I could probably get the score. This would go down, but I could probably get this score into the green. Do I really need to do that? Not really. Does it make it more readable? Yes, so I will do this. This will probably bring it down, maybe just a touch. This one fluctuates though. It'll fluctuate plus or minus. Yeah, we're perfect. We're fine. 4.13 is the actual amount. All right. So now that's all fixed. This is fixed. This is in the green for all intents and purposes. 4.13 is fine. And this correlates with number one rankings just fine. And the heat score is good. Now the last thing we need to fix is the spam score. Now, like I said before, the spam scores, these ones we want to be 0, no matter how spammy it is. These ones we want to be close to the spam score. Look how spammy your competitors are here on average. 93%. They are stuffing in, look how many of the important words they're stuffing into this header. They've got 7 of the keywords of the EMQ on average out of 30 words in the H1. So we need a much more aggressive H1, believe it or not. Our H1 score is going to be in the red for sure. We need a much more aggressive one until I change it to be like, if you're over this threshold, then you're in the red. Otherwise, you're fine, which I need to remind myself to do. Reminder, change H1 red threshold to be 10% under comp. Okay. All right, so this is what we need to fix. Okay, and you just go to the SEO tab here and find and see what you need to fix for the last 5 minutes of working with this. Okay, for some reason it doesn't like the title. Now, in order to fix it, you need to read what it says. It says the title effectively serves the query intent. The EMQ is mentioned more than once, which is one too many. That's the problem. We're stuffing in too many EMQs here, apparently. Yes, we're saying DBX crypto staking coins, and then we also said best DBX staking coins. We've said it too many times. So we have DBX crypto staking coins. We have a 4 in here. That's weird. Maximize your earnings. So what is the actual purpose of this article? How to stake DBX and maximize rewards. That is kind of, I guess we could go with that one. So I'll just copy and paste that because that's what we want to be about. Boom. 2025. We want to save that. We want to rerun the spam score for that. And survey says, take your time. The system's busy. Staking coins. We don't say the word price here. Price is one of the bigger entities. How to stake DBX cryptocurrency and maximize rewards. Yeah, I'm pretty fine with that. Okay, we're fine. We're 0. Okay, so that's great. That's what we want here. We want 0, 0, 0 on those ones. Now on the H1, we need it to be much more aggressive, actually. And so let's take a look at the actual entities. And so here's how you do the SEO. You go to the entities here, go to the score, like what are the most important ones? DBX crypto, staking coins, price for price stake market, how to stake DBX cryptocurrency and maximize rewards. Too bad I don't know enough about this. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to go here to CP and say, please write me the best H1 using the SEO keywords for this. Yet showing it is a helpful article. So we can ask CP, because I don't really understand how this works. Okay, this sentence doesn't make any sense either, because before we had it written in, okay, maximize your earnings, a comprehensive guide to staking DBX cryptocurrency. Boom, make that an H1, boom. The EMQ here is DBX staking coins. So we're basically saying the EMQ just in a variation here. And actually, I want to stuff another keyword, get the best price. A comprehensive guide to staking DBX cryptocurrency coins. And I'm going to ask it, because I have no idea how this works, does this make sense? And CP will tell me, because the AI is an expert in this, as it is an expert in everything, because it has read all of human content. It's read. And survey says, yeah, so the entities here, DBX crypto, how to stake the information on DBX price, market cap. Yeah, it looks like it makes sense. Staking the coins for price in your market. Staking the coins for price in your market, that kind of a deal. It's still thinking about it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this. while it's thinking about it, I'm going to rerun this H1. I want it to be higher. I want this to be higher. I want this to complain. There we go. Perfect. Now it has a problem. Now it's like it includes, and this is what you want, because this is an over SEO'd niche, right? So that's why I want it to be higher. This H1 includes DBX cryptocurrency coins, which are considered a close variation. It does not repeat the exact phrasing. The phrase "get the base price" seems promotional. The inclusion of the comprehensive guide is good in terms. Perfect. That's what I want. Because everybody else is mentioning a lot of the keywords in the H1. I want to mention it too. Your proposed title, "Get the Best Price," makes sense in terms of conveying the intent. However, it could be improved for clarity and so you're saying I didn't? This doesn't make sense? Maximize your earnings. No, that's fine. So I'm going to ignore the AI there. Boom. So this is what you want. So this is now perfect. I'm done. I'm done the work, right? I've gotten this into the range where it needs to be. I've gotten this. This is perfectly fine where it is. I've gotten a red H1 spam score, which the system is saying, hey, this is really spammy. Are you sure? The answer is yes, because all my competitors are just as spammy. Look, they are 93% spammy. They're even worse than I am here, putting the EMQ in. At least I have, I'm approaching their spamminess. That's great. That's what I want. You need to have SEO juice, and the competitors have too much SEO juice here. Every niche is different, and what you can do in every niche is different. Some niches you have to go really, really weak, and like look at the body score is only 30% here. If I reran this, I'm sure the body score would be higher because of the spammy H1, because the H1 is part of the body. And not only are we looking for keywords that have been jammed in there, well, it still says it's fine with it. Even though we're looking for keywords that have been jammed in there, we're also looking for SEO sentences like this. We're looking for SEO sentences that are like, at Josh's Red Apples, we have the best red apples. If you want to get red apples, Josh's Red Apples is the best red apples, you could red apple. Like, it's not only the fact that red apples is a keyword, it's how many times you jam it into a sentence is the problem as well. This is what my spam score looks for. So it didn't say it found it. It just said I have a problem with this because this is very close to this, and it is, but that's fine. I've jammed a lot of powerful keywords in here, but that's what I needed to do because of how high the other competitors are here. See the average of 93.40? So we're done. That's it. This article is finished. Well, in terms of a basic build, this article is finished. There's about 20 more things I could do to it to make it rank better, and I should do to it to make it rank better. But that's outside the purview of this particular course. If you want more information, email me at joshbrzezinski@gmail.com and email me at joshbrzezinski@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to point you in directions to give you more information that you need to get that stuff done. Now, all right, great. So we got a question. ZR asks, assuming some blah blah keyword related page has jumped to the 16th position in the SERP from 45th after applying SEO Copilot process, provided article builder for this page is already showing all SEO scores in green, what are the next possible steps can one make in SEO Copilot to push this page even upper towards 1 to 10? Adding pages covering easy average? That's a great question. The short answer is a million things. There's the whole rest of the SEO process that needs to be done. And just because the SEO Copilot scores are in the green doesn't mean you've done all of the on-page, right? There's no way to represent easily, and I just kind of roll my eyes at these SEO tools that just have one SEO score, which is just a dial. It's impossible. That's like saying it is impossible to have a dial of just measuring SEO. You have to have multiple scores, and you also need to go here and check in the SEO tab to make sure your spam scores are close to the threshold they're supposed to be. You need to go down here and check to see if you are missing any spread keywords. And you need to go down here to see how many times they say words like market cap or DBX finance or learn this metric. So now I need to start checking for stuff like that. So how many times are we saying the word market cap? We say it only 4 times. So we're not even close to saying the words market cap enough, right? Because they're saying it 46 times. Now, was I fine to go with this article to see where we would end up? Yes. But now that I'm looking at this, are we fully done on this? Probably not. You'd probably need to say market cap a whole bunch more times in the same way that the competitors do. And this is really the only one. And learn this metric. I don't know why they're saying learn this metric so much. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but market cap, DBX Finance is another one. DBX Finance. We're not saying it once. So we need to say it a bunch more times. So let's say, okay, go to CP. Please add the phrase market cap in here a bit more, but only a few times. Actually, please make a section about market cap, what it is, why it is important, etc. Do we already have market cap here? Okay. By making a section based on it, that's really going to help. Okay, that's really going to add to our article. So adding this is going to kind of be not great. I could go a little higher. Okay, make that into one paragraph with a list mentioning market cap in the list. Let's do it that way. Okay, let's add this. You guys go boom. Let's add market cap, understanding market capitalization. We make that at H3 or H2 we're using, boom. Okay, now how many times we're saying it? Market cap. Now we're saying it many more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're saying it 10 times, even though the other are saying it like 40 times. Okay, let's, okay, and now let's go back here and say, please sneak the phrase market cap into here a few times. Non-spammily. Do it in a non-spammy way. Do it in a non-spammy way. Back in the day, you just have to rewrite this. It would take you hours. So how much have we already ruined this? Well, we didn't go that much higher. See if the body spam score is getting worse. This went up a bit, 0.6. Okay. Take this, put this here, boom. Didn't make it that much bigger. H1 is complaining, that's fine. Rerun this, rerun this. This can go higher anyway, so that's fine. Okay, now market cap. Now we've got it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, okay, better. Better, 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 better. 47 matches. You don't have 47 matches. You only have it because it's mentioned in here. Okay. Yeah, so this has gone up a little bit. We can fix that. Let's go and actually make this bigger. Where's the market cap? Market cap, okay. I can do market cap, helps assess stability and size, allows comparison between different cryptocurrencies. Market cap reflects investor confidence. Fact, I won't do it on this one. Market cap indicates the health of a and then we'll do paragraph here. This gave me an idea. So this is another thing I can do. Remember, the market cap is very important for understanding, for indicating the health of a crypto project. Expand on this, how and in what way? What way? Mentioning market cap a few more times, sparingly. I could do this as well. I can highlight that and then up the score. And usually giving it this instructions, usually it'll follow it out. See, boom. So remember, you can repeat yourself. Boom, boom. There we go. Now we're a bit over. Now we're just a touch over. That's a touch over. But I'm getting the word market cap in here. This is a spammier niche than I expected. I can be maybe a little spammy. See, market cap. How many times am I mentioning it now? Oh, yeah. We're mentioning it a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. There we go. Now we're saying it more like, the competitors are saying it. And if you're like, Josh, how can you do all that SEO spamminess? Because they are. I need to do it because they are. The absolute frequency is 46. That's the highest. So 20 is not too bad. That's not too bad at all. Now, here's another thing you can do. You can be like, ZR gives me a thumbs up and a star. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. I give you a star back. Now, I mean, this is the SEO, guys. This is where the rubber hits the road. This is how you do SEO. Learn this metric. I don't know why. Hold on a second. Let me save this. I don't know why learn this metric is important. I don't quite get that one. I can go here to RankBrain, and I can see the entities that are important. I can say learn. Learn is 50% important. This is 60% important. And then metric is 5. So actually it's a fairly important phrase. So I'm going to want to say, I'm going to have to say the word learn this metric in here. Learn, whatever we got learning, we're going to have this, of course, metric. How many times are we saying metric? We're not really saying learn this metric. So I can just add this. It is very important to learn this metric. So I've added in there. Uh, Now I can just read a bit and find another place to put it. Learn this metric and unlock rewards. There we go. So I've put it in there twice. I'm surprised the AI didn't mention it. It's kind of a weird thing that is not really on the topic. I don't know why your other people are saying it. This might be the only time you would go and start trying to learn why your competitors are saying learn this metric. I have no idea. But otherwise, this page was fine 20 minutes ago. Now I've improved it. It'll probably do a little bit better in SEO. I might do that in a second pass. So again, that was answering your question. The question was, assuming some blah, blah, blah keyword related page has jumped to the 16th position, what else would you do? You could tweak it like that in SEO. You could build more pages. You could make sure your navigation is right, make sure your internal links is right, make sure your technical SEO is right, make sure you've done the image SEO, make sure you've done 20 other SEO tricks that we know about that are on page, that are ranking factors that other people don't know about. Make sure your schema is done correctly. There's a very wrong way to do it that will hurt you and a very right way to do it that will help you. So there's a lot to do, right? So that gives you and that's just for on-site and on-page stuff. Then there's all the off-page stuff that you'll probably need to do. So that gives you a little bit more information. Okay, so I've kept you guys here long enough. So please, if you have more questions, fire them in there. Now, sorry, this new haircut of mine is driving me up the wall. Okay, now, now I'm going to do I'm going to answer these questions that have been asked. So one, someone says, this is interesting, but ranking number 1, especially with AI overview and AI mode, will get you close to 0 clicks. So that data is not really accurate because you can't track the CTR when AIO is involved if you count on Google Ads data. I disagree. I disagree. I mean, yes and no, but here's the thing, guys. So people are freaking out about AI mode and freaking out about the AI overview. I'm old enough to remember, again, see the gray in my beard. I'm old enough to remember the .com days, where the websites were just starting up, browsers were just starting up, and Google didn't even exist yet. And there was all these web browsers before Internet Explorer that were very important, and all of these. I'm getting too hot here. All of these browsers that were important, and all of these web search engines that were important. And for, it was Alta Vista for a long time, then it was Yahoo for a long time, then Firefox, and then IE came out and beat that. And Google wasn't even on the map at the beginning. So we are way too early to say that, AI overview is going to change everything and AI mode is going to change everything. We don't know what's going to happen with those. There's many searches, and here's the second thing. That's also when you're not doing SEO right. Remember when I said the sales search funnel is an abstraction and we should ignore it? This is the reason why. Because for years, there's been this idea in SEO that in order to succeed at SEO, what you want to do, camera sideways, what you want to do is you want to rank for long tail informational queries. And it was great. It's great to show your clients, look, I got you ranking for this easy keyword that no one else was trying to rank for, that is super easy to do, that will make you zero money and gives you almost zero benefit to your site weight, and you could do that all day long and charge them a ton of money. Well, you can't do that anymore. Yes, the AI overview and the AI mode is going to just take information from your page and it's going to put it on the thing. So if all you're selling is information, if your complete value add is you're just informing the world and you're not selling anything or upselling them or retargeting them or offering anything of value like a PDF, an app, a downloadable program, some kind of online program, some kind of interactive information that it would be very hard for the AI to get, and or selling a product, or if you're not lower in the sales funnel, to use that abstraction because you've selected the correct keywords in keyword discovery that are going to make you the most money, then yeah, you're going to have a problem, right? You're going to have a problem. You have to roll with the punches. You have to move forward the way it is. And I think if you rank number one and you've got a value proposition that is going to benefit your users, that the AI can't just steal from you, you're still going to be doing well. You're still going to be doing fine. And keep in mind, the AI mode is going to be terrible. It's going to be terrible at first. People are going to hate it. People are not going to use it. And all of ChatGPT, and I know this for a scientific fact, because all of the ChatGPT changes, you'd think, well, why isn't everyone using ChatGPT? It does all the work for you now. Not really. It's quite dumb. It hallucinates all the time. It's not really that useful all the time, and it's not really viable for commercial queries. It's not really viable yet, or maybe ever, for any of the queries that are making money. So that's why I'm like, I don't really see, there's no difference in SEO so far. And I'm not even sure there'll be a difference in SEO that soon in the future. Not for another 5 or 10 years until people get used to AI. The AI is not hallucinating anymore. They trust it, and now they will trust it to be their concierge and be like, go buy me this, and it'll go do it. And then you'll be ranking for AIs to do these things. And there are ways to get ahead of that. There will always be SEO. There will always be ways to make a page in a certain way that the AI ranking it is going to like you more than everybody else. So I don't see that really being a problem. And even if it is, for the sake of argument, let's say that in 5 years SEO is dead and you won't be able to do this at all, which is completely false. There will always be on-page SEO. It just might be a bit harder. It'll be just a little different. And even in local map rankings, there's not a listing. You just talk to an AI and it says, oh yeah, you should take your martial arts here. And you trust it to have all that information. Even if that is the case, at least we have 5 more years to make a killing at SEO and then invest it in something else. So, because there's a ton of money to be made here, because people are getting out of it like crazy because they're lazy or I shouldn't, I speak from the cuff. I wear my heart on my sleeve and I'm very passionate. I shouldn't just say they're lazy, but people are getting out of SEO because it used to be super like grade 7 level education easy, and now it's not. So they are getting out of SEO. And great, that's money for us. That's still there. There are still tons of companies that need SEO. They'll pay you thousands of dollars a month to do it, or have hundreds of thousands of dollars, not millions of dollars at stake. That's the way it is. And even if it moves over to that you can't do anything for it after 5 years, fine, then just move into paid ads. They're all going to have a paid ad system, and that's going to be the new SEO. And your client's going to pay for the pay-per-click, but there's going to be an SEO process of you optimizing the paid search. So this job is always going to be around, just the tactics are going to change. And so that's no different than from 1998 to now, quite frankly. Okay. And someone said, lately I've been hearing a lot about geo. How does this relate to on-page SEO? So the geo is the generative engine search. Yeah, so I've already answered that. That was the same question. Okay, let me quickly check to see on the tube views here if there's any questions. Let me go here on the tube views. Any questions? JP says, hey, happy Friday. Hey, JP, how you doing, man? Oh, things are quiet on YouTube. Usually I have like 7 or 8 people watching. Things seem to be quiet today. That's weird. Okay. All right, guys. Well, then, I've got good news. So let's do the raffle. So you guys have waited to the end. Thanks for waiting. There is more gifts and presents for you. Let's see who's here. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4 people here. That's great. So let me go here to the raffle. All right, I got 3 people who responded to me. Andy responded, Bruno responded, and Dayan responded. And so let me generate a random number between 1 and 3. All right, are you ready? Anyone else play Dungeons and Dragons? Are you ready or have played it in the past? 9. I rolled a 9. So that means Dayan. Dayan, you've been selected. Email me for the raffle for the 20 minutes power session. I'll do a full audit on your site. I'll tell you everything that's going on with your SEO. So Deanne, congratulations. Email me back. Andy and Bruno, if you still need help, let me know. I could still help you out in some way. But Deanne, make sure you email me. I'll say, you won, brother. Email me your site deets and we'll get started. All right, so there's that one. Boom, great. And as also promised, now is the portion where I give more gifts and huge discounts. So I'm going to give the gifts to the guys here first. You're welcome, Bruno. Sorry you didn't win, but you heard me roll the dice. I didn't lie with that. But you can always apply next week. There's always time. 8-Pit says, thanks, Josh. You're welcome, buddy. Is this Aaron? How you doing, Aaron? You're welcome. Now let's do the free gifts. So I've got crazy gifts for you. I've got crazy discounts for Underground SEO University, and I've got huge discounts for SEO Copilot, in some cases up to 100%, 100%. So the people in the call get first access. So email me, and I'll also give it out into YouTube, into the description when this video is done. Email me at Josh Baczynski and say this coupon code for huge discounts. So that's my best Trump impression. Huge discounts for SEO CP, sometimes up to 100% when bundled with SEO University. Discounts available for both. So remember, SEO University is that place I showed you where we had all those wins. I could show you the current search consoles. These are current. We know what we're doing. So again, email me with those coupons, and I'd be happy to get you access to that as well. And then, so with that, thanks guys for listening. Thanks for watching. I'm going to sign off now and do the Ask Me Anything, the private Ask Me Anything portion. So you guys in the Zoom, wait right here. We're going to do the Ask Me Anything in a second, where you can literally ask me anything about SEO and I won't hold my tongue. I'll answer the question completely and give you the secrets that we know about the ranking factors. So, but anyway, before that, thanks everyone for listening and watching, and we'll see you guys next week. Make sure you sign up for the Zoom course so you have access to the extra stuff, and we'll see you then. All right, let me turn off the recording, turn off the broadcasting.